Hey, it's Mike, and this is going to be one of those talking head videos again because I'm short on time. It's 9:15. I've got to get up at 5 a.m. and drive 400 miles to unload my daughter's stuff because she's starting her junior year at an out-of-state college on Tuesday. So we're going to get this whipped out tonight, but I thought you should hear the news from somebody who actually knows when the launch date is. So Harley Davidson put out some information about 4 new models. They confirmed 4 new models that will be seen in the launch. Also, motorcycle.com has put out some stuff in the last few days, and there's been some posts on Instagram that shows a bike that nobody's confirmed yet. So let's talk about what is really going on. I did a video real recently, just like a week ago, about the Icon model. I thought 40 years of Softails would be a perfect way to do an Icon model and celebrate their 40th anniversary. But our boy Dennis Chung over at motorcycle.com has proved me wrong. He always puts out great stuff. I don't doubt him. So when he says it's going to be based on a Hydroglide, the first year, which was 1949, makes it a 75th anniversary, well, then I'm tending to believe him. Now the question is, do you think that's going to be based off of a Softail? I mean, that's what I would expect. And which Softail? The Heritage Classic or the Fat Boy? You guys take a look at this picture of a 1950s model, Hydroglide, and tell me what Softail you think would be the best one to do a modern rendition of that. Personally, I still think it would be really cool. Maybe they could do an enthusiast model or something else, but to make some Icon models based off of some of the years when bikes were so hard to get, people waited a year for them. Now, those were popular, so why not bring that back? Anyway, we'll see what Harley Davidson comes out with, for sure, sometime later this year. I don't expect the Icon model to be released for at least a couple more months. Now, Harley Davidson did put out a post today announcing all new Road Glide and Street Glides, and a CVO Road Glide ST, and a CVO Pan American. Now, I know I've already seen some negative comments about this. Let's talk about this real quick. I saw a video. Somebody said that they were getting rid of the base model. They were all going to be specials. Somebody else said they're not going to be specials. They're all going to be base models. Let's go back and talk about what we had back in 2014, 2016 when I bought my Street Glide. You had a Street Glide Standard. And then you had a Street Glide Special. And the difference when I bought my Street Glide Special in 2016 was a difference in the shocks, the dash, being the GPS and all that, and I think the alarm system, which didn't come standard. Somebody said there was also like the inner painted fairing or something maybe on certain models. So maybe if you had a color upgrade, you got a painted fairing to match instead of a black one. I don't know for sure. I didn't really have that because my bike was vivid black and it's always been painted to match. But those were kind of the differences, were the dash and the suspension. Now let's look at where Harley's going at with the new CVO styling and that dash. I said before, if those things trickle down to the touring models, are they going to create a separate dash that's maybe more limited in functionality or different size to offset the specials from the standards like they currently have? Well, it looks like the answer is no. One dash, so one model. And I hear that those new touring models are going to be 117s. So I hear the Road Glide and the Street Glide are going to be 117s. We're not going to have a special model. Now, somebody also said that there were no STs. Well, I don't know about that. The color sheet that was leaked had STs on it. Is already announced by Harley Davidson a CVO Road Glide ST. So unless the ST is only going to be a CVO model, that would imply there is still an ST model. But we'll have to wait and see for sure. I don't know about that. Maybe the only STs we'll get this year will be CVOs. And I don't know that that's a bad thing. Let's look at it from the performance aspect. That's what the ST was supposed to be, was this performance bagger. So it was the performance bagger, and it had the biggest motor outside of the CVOs. And it had a taller shock in the rear than the specials, which gave it a little better suspension, but it didn't have the best suspension. That was still the CVOs. So the best performance was still the CVOs. So I think they're kind of marrying that, and the CVOs are going to be those ST models. and they're going to be the performance baggers. And if you want the performance bagger, there's the CVO model. Maybe they'll have a regular ST model that is not the CVO ST, but I'm kind of leaning against that this year. I haven't seen any signs of it other than the paint sheet, which the color sheet that I put out earlier this year, which I was told there were some things on it that were wrong by sources that I trust. It's what was still on Harley Davidson's stuff they give to the dealerships, a few weeks ago. So it's what they put out, but it doesn't mean it was accurate. CVO Pan America. Let's talk about that for a second. Now, people are saying that, why make a bike that you can't sell already more expensive? Well, I don't know. The first year, they were the best-selling adventure motorcycle in the United States. You make all the jokes you want about, but that was the facts. They outsold BMW. I rode a GS, not the latest model, not the latest and greatest, but I rode a BMW GS, and I rode the Pan America, and I would have took the Pan America hands down. Now, the GS I rode was a few years old, and it was like one motor size down. But, each to his own. I'm not a huge adventure rider. I don't have skin in the game, and I'm not an expert enough to say, what's best. I just can tell you what I like. And I really like the Pan America. I mean, I really like that bike, but it's not, I do a lot of touring and stuff, and it just wasn't the right bike for me. But I still think it's a great bike. I know some people have had some problems with it, but I also know some people that bought them that have had no issues with them. So we'll just have to see how that shakes out. But I think a CVO Pan America in bright red is going to look great. You may be saying, why bright red? Well, this picture that Harley Davidson put out has some red in it. Plus, I got this picture. And if you look in the background, you see people all crowd around a Revolution Max engine, and it's got some red stuff on it, and it sure looks like that's the Pan America in bright red to me. So I can't wait to see that bike and see what it looks like. There's been some comments. They have not confirmed a CVO Street Glide yet. I'm pretty sure we're going to get one. Why? Well, because somebody sent me these pictures from Instagram. I'm going to put a link to his Instagram page down below, but he sent those to me. I don't know where he got them from, but it looks like a Street Glide in here with inverted front forks, and that looks like a CVO paint job. So I think we're still going to get a CVO Street Glide. Now, I encourage everybody who's interested in this stuff to make sure you get out there, sign up at the link I'll have down below in the description for the launch on the 24th. I think it's 10 a.m. Central Time. I'm going to be watching that. I might even do a live right after that and talk about my reaction. What do you guys think of that? Would you like to see that? Oh, yeah. I got one more big announcement for y'all. So these bikes launch on the 24th. And less than a week later, I'll be doing some riding on these bikes. Yeah, your boy is going to go ride these brand new CVOs at the press event that Harley Davidson's putting on. And so I'll tell you all about what I think about them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm super excited. This is a big deal for me. I never dreamed when I started this channel a little over 4 years ago that I'd have opportunities like this. So, yeah, I love motorcycles. I love my Harley Davidson. I don't necessarily always love every decision the company makes, but I want them to do well, and I think they are bringing new technology to the touring models, and I think that's great, and I'm excited to see it. I'm due to buy a new bike this year or next, so this is really interesting to me to see if they're going to bring enough stuff to get me to fork out some money. Or are they going to try and make me fork out for that CVO Road Glide ST? I never rode a Road Glide in my life until Sturgis, when I rode the new CVO Road Glide. And I have to say, it grew on me. I'm still not as big a fan of the flaring on it as I am the Street Glide, but, I might be able to learn to like it. We'll just have to ride it some more and see. All right, I got to get this thing posted. We'll see y'all in the next one. Stay tuned. Exciting stuff is coming. And y'all stay safe. Keep on riding. We'll see you in the next one.